We want to be profitable as a company, of course, but that's not the most important thing. The people are the most important thing. And we have to remember that with not only just our family, we kind of see the employees as our extended family.
We started the business May 1st, 1974. Both Dave and Alan were familiar with construction and had done construction. They were both working with his dad, who had Doug Cook Construction. Doug decided he wanted to pass on a business. Dave and I were at the time living in Montrose. He was working at a mining company because construction had slowed down there. Their dad said, "Why don't you come back and do business here in Alamosa?" And so we did. We got so many phone calls from people wanting to order mud or concrete cement that they thought we were a supply company instead of a concrete contractor. So when we grew enough to incorporate, we decided we needed to change the name so that we did not come across as a supplier, but we were an actual contractor. So we took the first parts of Alamosa and the first parts of concrete and made it Alcon, and we became Alcon Construction. Our original customers were anyone we could serve with the services we had. Primarily, it was local people that really did call for our services. Sometimes it was the city. We didn't always have a lot of work, especially the winters were very cold. And so work would slow down. We did what we needed to do to keep going. And part of that was Dave had not been hunting a lot, but one year he hunted rabbit a lot. And I think I learned how to make rabbit in stew, spaghetti, fried. We were looking for all kinds of different ways to eat rabbit because we hadn't had it before and we just needed to keep going.
Over the course of years, we ventured into different types of work. We picked up a lot of substation type work, and then also we picked up a lot of bridge work and replaced a lot of county bridges around the valley. We appreciated all of that work. We're able to do work for other building dealers in other parts of the state or the country. So they would call up the building dealer we were working with here and ask if we could go erect buildings or do concrete for them. And so we ended up going to places like Idaho and Yuma, Colorado. I was able to see other parts of the country. I was able to see other types of jobs. At that time, we're a smaller crew, so I was working out in the field a lot more too.
What I found in the business around the valley here is you try your best to please people. We learned real quick that you don't please one person. It's kind of a small community, and that word gets around. If something goes wrong, you fix it. There's something I could tell the people we work for here in the valley is that we appreciated the work we got here. And we appreciate all the work they gave us because we've had a pretty steady run. We've been blessed to be working here in the valley.
When we started having children, we would actually bring them to work. They'd come in their little carriers. They would find things to do or play with in the office. They would imitate Dad and Uncle Alan. As they grew older, they were able to do more and more. We've got pictures of some of them learning concrete early. Our daughter did the payroll in high school. Our sons were really active, getting involved as they grew up in the concrete and the metal building work. And they become great workers, and every one of them does some portion of the business at this point.
To be bringing my children up in the business and seeing them wanting to be in the business was very rewarding. As we grew, I look forward to turning some of the business over to them, and hopefully they would take over, especially when Brian started getting involved. And I think Brian was showing interest in wanting to take over, so that was exciting.
So growing up in the business, obviously my parents both worked in the business. They're very, busy with it. We got to hang out at the shop quite a bit. Fortunately, we lived close by, so we're able to go back and forth between the house and the business, learning how to play with concrete and different aspects of the business that we did at a young age, being around that. I think we got to learn quite a bit young. Back in the early days when Dad and Ellen started out with concrete, and pretty soon we started dealing and erecting metal buildings, and it kind of made sense that we brought the garage doors into the fold because of we're already putting up 3/4 of the building. Why not just put a door in it and give somebody a full envelope? And I think that's kind of the start of the garage door business. Alan jumped in, selected Rainer as a product to represent, and it's been going strong ever since. I think that really helped understand some of the roots that are ingrained so deep in this company with the metal buildings and the concrete, the overhead doors run really deep in this company. So a lot of our projects today involve those aspects, as well as we've expanded into general contracting quite a bit. And so it really leaves us pretty diversified. Another thing we did a lot back then was agricultural work. I would say probably 75% of our work was agricultural, but it's typically the type of work that starts in April or May has to be done by harvest. So a lot of times it's everybody working their hardest right up to September, and then we were slow for the winter. And so I wanted to change that as well. Some other businesses in town at that time had started going out of business, which really opened the door for us to chase commercial general contracting. And so we jumped right into that, really pushed for that. And that's probably been a lot of the growth in the last 12, 13 years. We're now chasing projects that are as large as our total volume was when I came back in 2009, and we'll do multiple of those in a year. So yeah, Alcon is a family-oriented company, obviously with my uncle and my parents, and then now myself, Alicia, my sister, throughout different periods of time. My brother's been involved, cousins have been involved. We get along very well. I think we're all pretty generous. I think we're all pretty flexible and forgiving, and I think that helps a lot. We want to be profitable as a company, of course, but that's not the most important thing. The people are the most important thing, and we have to remember that with not only just our family, we kind of see the employees as our extended family.
I started working with Alcon Construction in April 1st, 1988. Came in young, excited to work. I went to school, had a welding trade degree, and so it opened up for me to come in here and do their welding and start in that area. We always say family culture, but it was really close. We worked together long days, we shared ideas. They were understanding if you were sick or needed time off. They always supported myself as far as, learning something I didn't learn and taking the time to work with me and explain to me, and not just, get out of the way and let me do it. They would work with us right beside me. This is how you do it. This is how you would bolt that. This is how you'd hook it up. So the culture, what they've taught us is working side by side with each other as though we're family and close to that friendship that started then and has carried on today and will always continue to be a great friendship.
We're just not guys that come to work. Everybody kind of knows about everybody. So it's more of a family culture here. I know perhaps other people have said that before, but it really is. Back when I started, Brian was my boss. His brother Bobby, sister Carrie, they were all a lot younger. They would hang out with me or come out and work with me on different jobs. We're just like family. They're like my brothers and sisters. That's what it's been like working around here. It's been fun.
Being part of Alcon's 50th year celebration is pretty special to me. I want to say only been here 13 years, but I feel like it's been my family for far beyond that amount of time. So understanding and seeing and hearing the stories of where Georgia, Dave, and Alan started from and getting to see where they're at now, it's a sense of pride even if we haven't been part of the journey the whole time. It's just pretty awesome to know that we're all part of that and how much they care for growing something that special here and providing the opportunity obviously for employment, but not just that family atmosphere. It's really pretty special.
I had hopes and dreams for this business and for the kids and for the valley all combined. People don't need to look outside to large contractors for almost anything anymore. That keeps so much more of the income flowing through the valley and keeps it here. And so that's one of my hopes, is that people come to understand that and trust that it can really be done. I hope the employees know they're appreciated, and I hope they have a great quality of life having been here. I hope they have the same kind of pride in what's been accomplished through Alcon in this valley. For the kids, I want them to be fulfilled, satisfied. I want it to work out the best for them, whatever they're doing. It takes a village to raise a child. It takes a community to raise a business. So I feel gratitude for all. If I could look back and tell my younger self something, I would tell myself it's worth it. Hang in there. It will be worth it in the end, and you'll be really glad you did.
One thing I really hope and look forward to with this company, as we've grown, we've continued to add benefits to make it a great place to work. And so as we move forward, I want Alcon to be a great place to have a career, a place where they can come in and learn a trade, have a great career, make it good living, have a good quality of life, a good balance of life, be able to be proud of what they do, work with their hands. At the end of their career, have something, have a retirement. It's my goal that we create great career paths here. Somebody looks back at the end of their career and says, I worked there. I'm proud of that. I loved it there. I love the people I work with. I love that company.